What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. And today, I'm doing a breakdown and recap of the Texans' loss to the Seattle Seahawks, 41-38. And that was a tough one to swallow. DeShaun Watson had 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, had 3 picks, but the last pick came in the desperation. He trying to win the game. Hopkins had over 224 yards, a touchdown. Wolford had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the story of the game really is what's been the story for the whole season. DeShaun Watson is the truth, and the secondary is straight trash and cost us again. And a lot of people are going to go back to that last drive, second to last drive, when Bill O'Brien ran a play on third down, 3rd and 5. He ran the ball with Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller gained only 3 yards. And I knew we lost the game when that play happened. I knew the game was over. Because I didn't like the play call. I thought that he should have kept the ball in DeShaun Watson's hands and let DeShaun Watson win you the game. Now, after that, after the play, DeShaun Watson was talking to Bill O'Brien, and maybe it was a read option and DeShaun read it wrong. That could have been the case. But what they should have done is it should have been a different formation. Everything should have been spread out, and it should have been a run option pass. So it looked like he was about to pass the ball, and then he can take it down and run for it himself. If they were playing the pass right, I didn't like the run play, and that's why I'm gonna blame Bill O'Brien on that. The loss is mostly on Bill O'Brien and the secondary. I said this once, I'm gonna say it 1,000 times. They should have franchise tagged AJ Bouye because that secondary was horrible. There's no way you're supposed to lose that game. You put up 38 points in Seattle, you're supposed to win that game. There's no way you're supposed to lose that game. And there's no way you're supposed to lose that game. This boy put up 400 yards in the air, had another 60 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns. He even threw a pick 6, and you overcame all that in Seattle against the vaunted Seattle defensive Legion of Boom. I didn't get a chance to make my pregame video because I did the video of Bob McNair in the comments that he made. And that actually took up my time to make the preview video. But that was one of the things I was going to say in that preview video, is that the Seattle's defense is not the same defense that won the Super Bowl. Before the Titan game, one of my friends, he's a Titans fan, he was talking because they was just coming off the win in Seattle. And he was talking about how Seattle defense had more stars than the Texans defense because this is before JJ and them get hurt. And I told him, I said, it's not the same defense that won the Super Bowl. They got some of the same names, Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. But it's not that same defense. Because the person who even won the MVP in the Super Bowl, he plays in Oakland now. I think 2 of their linebackers play in Oakland, if I'm not mistaken. Irvin and somebody else. So this not the same. It's not the same Seattle defense. It's not even the same Seattle team because actually they're way more explosive offensively. But it's not even the same Seattle defense. It's not the same vaunted Seattle defense that we want to keep calling it. Same thing with the Patriots. The Patriots not the same Patriots. They have Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but it's not the same Patriots. But because of that logo on their helmet, we want to see them as the same way. And it's not the same Seattle defense. Just like the Texans is not the same Texan defense. But you can make plays on this defense. And I knew that Richard Sherman, like I say, Richard Sherman 3 years ago might have been a top corner. He's a good corner now, but he's not the same corner. I know he had 2 picks against Watson. Only the first pick that he had was a real pick, and that's his first pick of the season. His first pick of the season. But anyway, I knew that you can make plays. A small, shifty receiver, fast receiver, Wolford, can make plays. And for this vaunted Seattle defense, you let a rookie come into your house and get 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 60 yards on the ground, Hopkins got over 20 yards. Will Fuller got over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. The boy straight cupped y'all and sliced y'all and diced y'all, and the ball was moving. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it honest and keep it 100. Because of everything that's been going on with the bombing their comments, I didn't know how to feel about this game. I was like, either they're gonna come in here and win a close game, or I said in the last video, or get blown out by 50, because I don't know where they headed. They came out to play. That first drive, when they threw that big bomb, when he threw that 59-yard pass to Will Fuller, I'm like, okay, they coming to play. They come in here to win. They not letting no distraction. They together. They come in to play. And then when he throws that pick 6, I said, that's the turning point. And we might have just lost this game. Because now the crowd was in it. Because after that big pass to Will Fuller, the defense come out there, and the defense has a 3-and-out. The Texans are moving the ball. The Texans about to score. If he didn't throw a pick 6 right there, the Texans score. And the Texans go up 14-0. And who knows? You go up 14-0, you might kill their spirit because the crowd was out the game. Because that pick 6 got the crowd into the game. You throw them out the game, this game could end up being like the Tennessee game. I'm not saying they would put up 57 points, but it could have been one of the type of games that you score on 4 or 5 straight possessions. And you take a big lead, and Seattle's not able to come back. Now, I know Seattle was able to come back, but they got 10 points off of turnovers because they got the pick 6, and then the second pick they got them to the 16-yard line. They got a field goal. And then their first offensive touchdown came off of 2 plays earlier, that the thrown fumble, which I'm going to be honest, I always thought that if a player fumbles the ball and it fumbles forward, and the team recovers it, it goes back to the original fumble point. I never known it to stay where it's at, because if that's the case, you could run and, oh, I'm about to get tackled, let me fumble real quick so my teammates can get it 20 yards down. Let me fumble and kick it so my teammates can go and get it 20 yards downfield. I was always of the mindset, thought maybe it's a different NFL rule change, or maybe it's different in college or in high school or something like that. But I always was under the impression that if you fumble the ball forward, and you recover it, the offense, or the team that fumble recovers it, it goes back to the original fumble point. They don't get to advance that fumble. Maybe obviously I'm wrong because that happened. I'm completely wrong because it happened. But back to the secondary. The secondary is just so. I'm got to the point that I'm no longer even mad, because it keeps proving my point that you should have franchised A.J. Bouye, because Kareem Jackson is better off as a safety. He's not a corner. Kevin Johnson, that one breakup they had against Jimmy Graham in the end zone was a good one. That was on 3rd down and forcing him to kick that field goal. I think that was after the second pick from DeShaun Watson, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a good play. Other than that, like I said, and I know some people who are Kevin Johnson fans, like he's 100%, he's still kind of hurt, and I kind of get that. I think he did come back sooner than we expected, and sooner than he should have. But before he got hurt, I was still like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. And under Rick Smith, ever since he drafted Dwayne Brown, he's hit on every single first-round pick. And I'm starting to think that maybe Kevin Johnson going to change that, because I don't see it. Now, he probably is going to end up getting a second contract with the Texans, but I just don't see him being a player like that. I just really don't. I really don't. Jonathan Joseph is old, and the rest of the corners is trash. I mean, rest of the secondary is not good. And also something that we don't even think about. We let Quinn Dimms go to Chicago. We let John Simon go to Indianapolis. Those are people like, well, it's the same defense, just well, merciless. And I said this during the injury. Even though I like JJ a lot, and I think JJ when healthy is the best player on the defense. But the person that I was really hurt the person that got hurt that I think we're gonna miss the most is going to be Merciless, because it takes away another pass rusher. Because you were able to be a #1 defense last year with Whitney Merciless. But you did have A.J. Bouye, you did have John Simon, and you did have Quentin Dimps in the back end. And you no longer have those. You no longer have none of those 3 players. Not to mention you don't have J.J. or Merciless. So And the front seven did its job because for majority of the games, like deep in the third quarter, we held them to -1 yards rushing. I think they ended up like with 30-some yards rushing. That really came because of Russell Wilson. But we dominated their run game, and we've been a good run-stuffing defense pretty much this whole season. I know Keem Hunt got 100 yards on us late, and Leonard Fournette got 100 yards in week 1. But other than that, I mean, we stuffed Tennessee, but we kind of knocked them out the game by going up 21-0. So we took the run out the game. Like we've been able to stop the run pretty much this season. So it's not the run defense. It's the secondary, and it's very reminiscent and just like 2010. It's exactly just like 2010. It's exactly how it was. That no lead was safe, and people just scoring and scoring and scoring. Cause like our offense is lit. Our offense is lit. Like this is the best offense I've seen coming from the Texans. And I'm an Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson is my favorite player of all time in any sport, in any position, any era. Andre Johnson is my favorite player. And this offense is Andre at his best has never had an offense like this. And it's the same offense as last year. It's the exact same players. The only thing that's actually worse, the offensive line is worse than it was last year because the offensive line was better last year because you had Dwayne Brown and then you had Derek Newton for half the season until he got hurt, but you had Dwayne Brown. You just got Dwayne Brown yesterday. And then you also had Fedorowicz. I mean, it's the exact same offense except the QB position. You take out quarterback 17 and you throw in quarterback number 4, but we can say his name, DeShaun Watson. You throw in him and you putting up 30 burgers every week. 5 straight games, 30-plus points. When our season average last year was 17 and we barely got 17 points a game. How many games did we only score 10 points? 5 straight games, 30 points or more. He's thrown 3 or more touchdowns in 4 straight games. And in 3 of those 4 games, he's throwing 4+ touchdowns. 4 against Tennessee, 5 against the Chiefs, 3 against the Browns, and then 4 against Seattle. 19 touchdowns in 7 games. He's out here breaking records. He's the first quarterback to have 400+ yards. 50 yards on the ground, and 4 touchdowns in the same game. He broke Kurt Warner's record for the most touchdowns, most rookie touchdowns in the first 7 games. He has 19 passing touchdowns. RG3, who was rookie of the year and has a historical rookie season, had 20 the whole season. He has 19 in 7 games. And he has 19 in 7 games. And he missed half of the first game because Bill O'Brien didn't start him. Rookie of the year. Houston, we have a quarterback. I say this every video. Houston, you should franchise tag AJ Bull. Yeah, I said that every video. And come on, be honest. We're going to be honest, though. Eventually, he's going to have a rookie game. He's going to have a bad rookie performance. But I don't care. Because I know what this team going to do. I know you in every game with him. When number 4, you in every single game. As long as DeShaun Watson's on that field, you in every single game. And that's a great feeling. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't clicked that bell to get more videos. I'll holler.